Hi teacher, welcome to my video. Today I am going to talk about the role of descriptive and prescriptive approach in EFL learning. Let's see what is it. Now I am going to start explaining about the prescriptive approach. Okay, let's start. The prescriptive approach focuses on how language should be used. It emphasizes grammar rules, standard usage, and correct forms. Okay, so it's important to say that this approach is especially useful in formal writing, academic settings, and standardized testing. It gives learners a clear framework of what is right or acceptable in English. Okay, now let me provide some examples in order to improve my explanation. Okay, my examples are about grammar correction and avoiding double negatives. Okay, about the grammar correction, there is a grammatical error here. Okay, he go to school every day. The correct form is he goes to school every day. Okay, we have to remember that in prescriptive grammar teach that when the subject is third person singular, he, she, and it, we must add s to the verb in the present simple. This rule helps students write correctly and sound more fluent in formal English. Okay, what happened with the next example? I don't want nothing. The correct form is I don't want anything. In standard English, double negative are considered incorrect because they create confuse. Don't is a negative and nothing is also negative. Okay, so prescriptive rules teach students that two negatives cancel each other out, which is not acceptable in academic English. Okay, so let me continue with the next slide about descriptive approach. Okay, what is descriptive approach? Descriptive approach observes and explains how people actually use language in real life, regardless of whether it allows formal rules. This includes regional dialects, informal speech, and changes in usage over time. In EFL classrooms, that approach helps students understand that English is a living, evolving language and that different contexts may allow different uses of grammar and vocabulary. It supports communicative competence by encourage authentic language use. Okay, so let me provide some examples about that. Okay, my first example is about understanding informal speech. My example is I am going. Okay, so a teacher using the descriptive approach might explain that am is common in informal speech or dialects, but is not acceptable in formal writing. My second example is about regional varieties. That is, you was late yesterday. In some dialects, you were is common. Instead of corrected a descriptive, teacher may use this to explain how English varies by region. Okay, so to finish my explanation about this approach, I want to say my reflection about that. Okay, so before learning about both approach, I used to view language teaching as focusing on instructing grammar rules and correcting errors. However, since I understood the descriptive approach, my perspective has changed. I now recognize that language is constantly evolving and that teaching must also reflect in actual use of English in everyday communicative situation. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Bye bye.